Hello and welcome. This is your weekly energy report from me, Faern. And it's 12:12 and it has been already a few days of pretty massive energy shifting. Now, I understand that not everybody is feeling it as soon as I am, so I kind of kept it to myself until probably about last evening. I started to need to talk about it. And here's the thing, for the next few days, it's going to be a big wave of energy. If you're not feeling it yet and you're energy sensitive, you will. This is a very good time to separate yourself a little bit from any big decisions, possibly electronics and the internet, depending on who you are in your body and what you're doing. Yeah. The thing to understand is that nothing is a quick fix. Nothing we're doing right now is going to have a resolve. High vibe energy, when you're integrating this, it doesn't go by any kind of logic. There's no way to order it. There's no way to have it happen exactly as you expect. No there's just no organization to it. The thing you can organize is how you work with it. That's it. That's what we've been preparing for. And we're in a point right now where I'm getting the sense that most energy sensitive people, whether they call themselves empaths, light workers, whatever the deal is, if you haven't put yourself together yet and it's bothering you a lot, you need to set aside time to do it. There's no way it's going to subside or you are going to feel a sense of true calm until you do. Now, what does that mean, Faern? That means whatever your spiritual practices are, get them in order. Lineage, whatever that is, get it in order. Ancestry, get it in order. Understand what you're working with. If you do shadow work, probably put it aside for a few days. I mean, you know what? I don't know. I don't want to talk about shadow work. Shadow work to me, the way I see it, falling out or flowing, is very confusing. When I started doing this, this wasn't a term. So I don't want to talk about that. What I will let you know is, if you're arguing with yourself a lot, this is going to continue. If your inner voice is actually a critic, kind of a jerk, it's going to get louder. These are these are kind of, I was going to say warning signs, but I stopped myself and I made that funny face because I didn't feel like it was very accurate, but it kind of is that. Right now we're in a preparatory zone. And so if you have been working with energy, you're given this time to kind of straighten it out. If you haven't started, this is the perfect time, but don't question it. It is going to be confusing. And as you know, if you've been with me for any amount of time, confusion is the space of expansion. The problem with the term confusing is the the modern association with being confused and dumb. It is not dumb to be confused. It's dumb to ignore when you are confused. That's my perspective on that. We're mid gateway opening. I mean, that sounds ridiculous to say, but there are dates, right? So if, let's say Sandra gives us dates, the 12th to the 14th, the energy flow started a few days ago already. I mean, she even said it in her email. And then that would lead me to say that it's going to last a few more days after that. And inside this time, there is new moon, dark moon, and eclipse. This is confusion on top of confusion on top of agitation. So try to be as kind to yourself as you can. but also know that you need discipline in order to really benefit from these phases, these flows, these things that are coming in for us right now. As they say, new energy for us to benefit from. But if it's causing you to go sideways, the energy isn't helping you that much right now. Your spirit and your soul and all of that it's getting that. But you as a human in a body have to be able to be in a body. And if you're only doing this for your spirit and your soul and you don't pay attention to the physical body that you're in, you're doing yourself a disservice. This defeats the purpose of any kind of spiritual life, any kind of ascension work, any kind of consciousness study. Development of human consciousness is a human being thing. You have to do the body stuff. That is what this is about. We're coming back not only to the earth, but to our bodies. We need to be here in order to do it. So first, you have to be able to handle the energy that's coming in and understand where it's actually coming from, where your decisions are being made and why. This is very important. But then once you figure out where it's coming from, above, below, sides, all of the places, you realize it's coming from everywhere. Why is that? Because you are it and it is you. There is no separation. It's just the way we decide that there's a separation. If you want to take control, you kind of have to jump ship. And I don't mean leave the body. I mean understand that you are not going to understand all of the things immediately. The information comes in its own order. Divine timing has its own order. And we don't know what that is. Some people might, but we really aren't supposed to. And I don't mean that there's anything wrong with them knowing. They're just extremely psychic, and that's just a whole other type of being human. I am not that. I am a conduit and an usher and a witness. This awakening is for me to help you with. Not that I don't need to do my own work, though. It's that we're one, but we're moving in different types of energy fields. That's why my voice is soothing to some people. That's why my actions are soothing to some people, whether I give them breathing or movement or something like that. That's why talking to me is soothing, just discussion. I didn't plan that. In fact, it's a little bit weird, and I'm okay with it though. I have to be open to me being a human that I didn't expect to be. You know what I'm saying? So it means a lot to me that I'm able to help people. It also means a lot to me that I'm able to do what I need to do in order to be me. These past 6 months have been extremely hard. I have gone through a lot in order to be able to do this. My only goal is to be able to help everyone else. But what I need you to understand now, and I would love it if you let me know that this resonates or not. If we are all one, then we need to remove the expectation that anchors us in a misunderstanding. This is anchored in assuming someone is doing one thing without talking to them. This is wrong, you say. Well, why? Because you understand it differently. That kind of thing. That's what I'm talking about. We're unfortunately anchored in this miscommunication because a lot of us haven't been able to communicate. And now some of us are getting this gift. And it is a hard gift to unwrap. During this grid gateway, where we are, it's global. This is affecting the entire planet. Whether people notice or not, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're working on awakening. Leave them alone. Let them have their life. You do you and show them how to be different. without saying you need to be different, because the whole of humanity will shift. We are the beginning. What we're about to experience as far as the greater shift, people think it's just going to happen on the 21st. No. This is timing. We have a month at least. Okay? More than a month. Till January 20th. We need to not try and look at this as time, but timing. Packages of things that we can provide for ourselves in order to start disconnecting from the miscommunication that is so consistent. It starts with communicating with ourselves. This is extremely important. It doesn't matter if other people have spiritual and consciousness practices. It doesn't matter. If you get stuck on that, that's going to be your road. You will stay on that road forever, okay? This doesn't mean that they won't come around. You just cannot make anybody do it, especially now. There will be a big fight. What you can do is point out things. Shift conversations as quietly as you can. Love. And I don't mean just be love. No, understand. Openly communicate with people. Hear them out without getting your beliefs in front of you or theirs in between you. This is extremely important because of the time frame, the holidays. Okay? Last week's video, I was very clear. People are going to be very upset about being locked in around the holidays, and then this energy is going to shake them up and they can't go anywhere. Okay? This, to a regular person that doesn't pay attention to any spirituality, doesn't pay attention to consciousness, doesn't pay attention to the mode of collective consciousness, the way we all move. This is going to be shocking. It's going to be a lot for them to contend with. You can help them by soothing them. On these really charged days, be very smart about what you share with people if they're hurting. You have to take responsibility for that at this point. At least through this eclipse situation. Okay? At least. So the amplification of the revelation wave. Revelation wave is the term Sandra used. I'm using it because it makes a lot of sense to me. 29 of December to January 20th. Look at that timing. Right now we're in a gateway opening, which is bugging out a lot of people. We're dropping right into new moon, dark moon, new moon, and an eclipse, right? That is going to shake people up too. And right after that, the eclipse is the 14th. Less than a week, or actually I can do math, a week later is the 21st. So if you could just focus on now being prep, you're getting your stuff together, doing the things, you're feeling it out, you feel the energy, you drink some water, you take a nap. Notice the skin touching the air as much as you possibly can, especially if you're just running the mind. The mind is attached to ego. I don't know if that's the proper way to say it, but that's where we're going. That thing thinks it's in charge. It is not in charge, and it's running out its excess. You, as a human being human, have the capacity to calm the mind by moving physically into your heart space. And I don't mean love, I mean moving your breath, doing the breath work that's on my page. It's very simple. Shaking out the body, really simple things. Sure, you can do some asana, fantastic. Do the whole class though. Go through the whole process. Don't just do a pose and then another pose and then another pose. This is fitness. Get it straight. Fitness isn't bad either, but if you want to use that yoga term, do it A to Z. I'm probably not going to say that one again, but you know what I'm saying. Right? So if you think about where we're in the phases, clearing. Right now, it's still in clearing. Can you feel it? Oh my God. We drop right into introspection and deep introspection, dark moon, right? And then action intention with an eclipse. This is all jarring for people that don't want to pay attention to spirituality. The people that want to focus on the simple, mundane, this is very jarring, okay? And here's the thing about the simple and the mundane. For people like us, that is where you can gain the most information. You already have the other stuff. There's so much you can learn from doing the dishes. Speaking of which, I always have to do the dishes, right? I'm being very real. I'm terrible. Yeah, I'm very distracted by the energy because I'm trying to give out as much as I can. If there was one thing I suggest in the next few days, maybe stay offline. Although you're seeing this, so like I hope you see this and then you can give yourself some time to do whatever you need. The water thing, the exercise thing, all extremely important. Just try not to be too rigid, as I've been saying, and notice when your mind starts running. If your mind is running, like I just said, it is trying to run out something for you. This can be exhausting. If you're a thinker thinking about thinking, you know what I mean, because we get that way. But the breathing is your route out. It is almost it's the only thing, unless you have a swimming pool or the ocean or some kind of body of water that you can get into and not feel like you're going to freeze. Your choice. So if you could just spend some time breathing, I guarantee that, I don't like to say the word I guarantee, I would assume that this would be helpful. It's helping me, it's helping my friends, it will probably help you too. Yeah, okay, so this has been a lot to get out. The 14th, or whenever is your darkest moon, is when the eclipse is. Give yourself recovery time. There's going to be a lot of recovery dates. I would say the 15th or 16th. I would say the 22nd and 23rd. I would say probably 28. Right after the new year. Look, till January 20th, I can't just rattle off recovery days. You know when they are. They're every time you have a massive download or a big energy day where you just don't know what the hell happened, you lose the day, you likely need a recovery day or some hours or something like that. Just do it for yourself. You can choose any day. These days that I'm naming are usually the days that come after the ones that I have on my phases. Okay. Before I start rattling off something else, I'm just going to say thank you so much for being here. I know there are a lot of new people here, so thank you. Please share this video. I really want people to be able to take care of themselves when they feel like they can't. Let's help them. Okay. Thank you again. Bye.